My uncle was a farmer. He was damn good at it too. Every harvest he'd have the best produce in town. Granted there were very few farmers, but if you were to go somewhere else, like to another town or city, the produce was never as good. He was often asked how he managed to get his crops so perfect, to which he would always respond, "I just plant them and harvest them. My scarecrows do all the hard work." He took pride in his work. As far as I know, he never bragged or spoke high of himself in any way. He was admired throughout the town. Every now and then I'd visit him. Each time he'd have new scarecrows just as scary looking as the last. Each one different, but yet kind of beautiful and unique, though I never saw them up close. I'd ask how he made them, to which he'd always respond, "I find only the finest scarecrows from all over. Nothing's too good to tend to my crops." First time I heard this, I thought it was kind of freaky. Because he lived way up north, whenever I'd visit him I'd stay a night or two. I'd have nightmares about the scarecrows walking around the field and coming straight from my bedroom window, though I grew out of this in later years. He'd always go up and down the country looking for the perfect scarecrows, usually being out for days or occasionally weeks at a time. But whenever he'd come back, he'd put up the new scarecrows and take down the old ones. Out with the old and in with the new and all that. Even through winter, the scarecrows stood high above the farm, and granted there weren't any birds, so you gotta give him credit. They were pretty effective. No one questioned why he had them up in winter, when his crops refused to grow due to the harsh cold and solid ground. It became more of his trademark than anything else. A few weeks ago my mother told me that I wasn't able to see him anymore. It didn't really bother me because I very rarely saw him in the first place. But what did bother me was that she never gave me a good reason. It didn't take me long to find out though. It was the first thing I saw in the news that night.
A serial killer has been arrested on the charges of murder,
It said, as it showed a picture of my uncle.
The victim count is currently at 32, consisting of all ages and genders. We are unable to give any information on their identities, though it is thought that they were homeless or had very few family members, making it difficult to track their disappearances. We'll bring you more information as the story unfolds.
The body count now is around 42. They're still digging up his farm. Turns out, the scarecrows were more than just a collection of old hay and clothes. When they began to decay, he buried them under his field, where his crops grew. I guess that was the secret on how his crops differed from his competitors. The problem is that now we buy our food from other suppliers, and it all tastes different. It's been different ever since my uncle's secret was discovered.